well, welcome to Lip Therapy. I'm your host, Nadia, and today I have a good friend of mine as a guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are, where you're from.
I'm T from the East Side. T_SSMG on Instagram. What'd you say where I'm from? From the East Side.
East Side.
From the city, by the city airport, 48205.
You say you come in zip code and all, so y'all can know, real East Sider. All right, so how's life been treating you?
I've been good. I'm blessed.
That's a good thing, for sure, because we live in a crazy world right about now. You know, you've been producing movies and stuff. Like, you're a whole movie producer now. Mm-hmm. How did that come about?
Well, my homie Vez, he had started writing a movie when he was locked up called Price of Love.
Okay.
So that was around about 2017. And when he got out, I believe like late 2018, we started talking about putting it together. So we got with our homeboy Kamal Smith, and Kamal, put the structure, and the rest is history.
So just to connect the dots for the people, I know who Vezo is. Obviously, a Detroit rapper. Who is Kamal? Where does he play a part in it?
Oh, Kamal, he's a writer.
He's a writer.
He's the writer, and he's a director.
Director, okay. Yeah. Okay, so the idea you said all came about in 20...
The idea came about, the actual it being wrote was in 2017. We started filming in 2019, and it came out the later part of 2020.
Okay. Yeah, like producing, I can't even imagine producing a movie. Like, that got to be stressful. Like, it takes some creativity, thinking and writing.
Absolutely.
Like, it's a lot that goes into that.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. Even just this, me just doing this, being... Obviously, you're quote-unquote a producer, so it's like, it takes a lot. And people don't really, see that, they don't get that behind the scenes, that it takes a lot of dialogue, like I said, and creativity behind it. So, has it been stressful for you? Like, how has the process been?
I wouldn't say stressful. Is lengthy. It's like, you see a end project of a movie, and, when you watch it as a viewer, you don't really know what goes into it. I didn't know, because I'm a movie fan. I love watching movies. But actually filming a movie, to see an idea go from paper to actually being filmed, to actually screen. Watching it, you do so many takes. It's very repetitive. People learning their lines. But it's fun. It's a great experience, a good learning experience. Just to see all the different things and different roles people have on the behind the scenes type of thing.
Right.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
But
I wouldn't call it, if you say stress, not stress in a bad way, stress in a good way.
Just tedious, basically. Right, it's tedious. Just making sure that everything is aligning, everybody knows their parts. Once you film it, it's like, once you put it out there, it's out there. So from something as small as a hair been out of place or fucking up on a line, it's like those things have to be...
You got to catch it. Because like you said, once it's out there, it's done.
It's out there. It's done.
So, some stuff you may not, as viewers, a viewer may not pay attention. Like, let's say early part of the day, your hair was this way. And then the same day, we might have shot that scene on a different day. You might have changed your hairstyle. So as a viewer, some viewers may not catch it. But once you really in that world, you kind of be like, damn, that word is called continuity. Continuity.
Moving on. So were you 100% behind the script? How did that come about?
No, I wasn't really behind the script at all. As far as actually writing it, like I said, he wrote majority of it while he was in prison. So when he came out, we got with Kamal Smith, which is the writer. And what he did was took what Vez had already and kind of added structure on how a movie should be filmed. And that's really how it came about. Yeah. So I'm more so just an executive producer, more like an investor. But I'm always on set, watching it, seeing everything, how it go. Yeah.
And that's, even still, just your part. Like you said, I know, just doing this and getting started, like, literally, you need a team. Like, absolutely, it's okay to have someone doing this portion of it and someone doing this. And, having multiple people wearing different hats. Mm-hmm. That produced the best, to me, produce the best outcome, whether it be a music video, a podcast, a video, whatever there may be. So I definitely know, like, I'm pretty sure, even like you said, even you just executive producing, it still was a lot that you had to put into it.
Absolutely.
I feel like I watched the movie.
Okay.
And
Did you like it?
I liked it. I really liked it. It threw
It threw you off a little bit?
It threw me off. Okay. Like, I like the fact that it wasn't predictable, because a lot of movies be predictable.
Right.
You know, I like the fact that it was not predictable. But I feel like it was so good, and like it was so real to the point where it's like, okay, you said you didn't write it, but was this like Vaz's personal experiences or like a personal friend of his experience? Because it just seemed like
somebody went through it.
It seemed so real. Like,
I wouldn't say that it was personal experience, but in the community, you witness stuff like that all the time. Like you see young black women going through stuff, and they have different kind of traumas that a lot of people don't talk about. Like, people don't talk about women that, you know, get touched on at an early age and affect how they grow up. So it was an overall message in that, you know, most people see it like, okay, people that got shot and killed. And I mean, that happens for entertainment purposes.
Right.
But the overall message in it was, you know, at the end with the lawyer, like, she, you know, the lawyer said, hey, I grew up this way, blah, blah, blah. I turned out to be a lawyer. You didn't have to turn into the streets. So no matter what you're dealing with at an early age shouldn't always determine your outcome at an adult stage of life. So that was the overall take-home message.
I agree. You know, it is true. Life is basically like, we all go through stuff. We all have a story to tell, but I feel like it's not about what you went through. It's more so about how you came out of that shit.
Right.
Point blank, period. You know, you can either be a survivor or a victim.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm trying to be a survivor. I'm going to always be a survivor. You know, don't victimize yourself. So, obviously, you know, we've been, you said that Vaz is the person who wrote it, who started it off. Just to name a few people. If you haven't watched it yet, obviously, it's a few of Detroit's, you know, popular names, well-known names in it, from Vezo to Nisha Nisha. So, tell me, like, KDZ, yes.
Nisha, Diesel, which is Trick Brother. It's plenty of people. I'm drawing a blank on all the people that's in it, but it was plenty of people in it. Little in it. It's just several people in it. It's a good movie. It's called Price of Love. It's streaming on Tubi and Amazon. I don't know if that was going to be your question, but
no, that's good. Let the people know. Look, let the people know where they can go tune in at. So make sure you tune it in on Tubi and Amazon.
Amazon Prime, yeah.
Yes, Amazon Prime. So what I want to know is, how does the casting part of it go, as far as, I know because I know you that Vezo is a good friend of yours, but basically the casting of it, how do you decide who you're going to put in it, you know, who's going to play this role and why?
Okay. Well, we do a casting call. So you start off with a casting call. Some people come read, but as you read these characters, sometimes you have an idea. So we knew also Mina Moreau in it. We knew we wanted her to play in it. I have an auntie that act. Her name is Lulu Love. We knew we wanted her to play the character of Pearl. King West, he's in it. So sometimes as you reading it, you have an idea of who you want. Like Nisha Nisha, for instance, the main character, we didn't originally have her in mind. We originally had Cash Doll in mind. But Nisha came to the audition. She did so good. It was like, so some people just be undeniable. Yeah,
it was fitting. I gotta admit, she definitely did a good job.
Absolutely.
I think Cash Doll would have did a good job too, but I have to admit, Nisha, she killed it. She definitely did.
And that she actually came to the casting call and read. So we do a casting call and we give you what is called a side, and you pretty much read it. And if we agree, because, you know, everybody got people that want to be in movies or say they want to be in movies.
Of course, everybody want to be famous.
You let people come. You say, hey, well, I know you're my cousin, but you got to do the casting call. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you do good, you do good, and we pick you.
Right. That's only right. It's only right. I think that's fair, too, because sometimes you might think that, oh, you want this certain person to be it, because in your mind, you might be like, that person going to kill it. I can see her killing this role. But then you might, like you said, you had somebody else that came and nailed it right in front of your face. Absolutely. So it was like only fitting and only right that you went with her. What I want to know is, like, going through this, do you see this being a ongoing career for you?
Absolutely. Right now, we're in the process of another movie. It's actually done. We're planning, we're projected for it to come out on the day before Thanksgiving, which is the 23rd of November.
Okay.
So that movie is going to be called Tag. Once again, we have plenty of Detroit people in it. We got some people from Atlanta. We promote.
Well, we're gonna get into that because I seen that. I seen you just recently. You recently uploaded a picture of it, basically, you know, announcing like you have a new movie coming out before the end of the year. We're gonna get into that, but before we get into that, what I wanted to know is, what would you say was your biggest lesson that you learned from this experience, whether it been personal or even business? What was the biggest thing that you could say that you learned?
Having patience.
Having patience.
Having patience. Having patience. Absolutely. Having patience, because you're dealing with so many moving parts, so many different people, from actors and actresses to the people that's filming. You there on set sometimes 10 to 14 hours a day. Ooh. So you dealing with people, whatever they had going on. So you got the camera crew, So just having patience and learning that you got to work around problems. You can't let a problem just ruin the whole day. Right. You got to work around it. So it's learning how to be patient with everybody, having understanding. So that was my biggest thing from dealing in film.
I totally understand, because even just getting on one accord with multiple different people, Absolutely. It's a lot. Absolutely. So I definitely understand that it can be almost deterring, like, just fuck this shit, I'm about to give up on this shit, like, this shit too much for me, I definitely understand. That's a good one. Patience, that is a good one. Patience is a virtue. Before you turned into a movie producer, what were you doing?
Well, I started the whole thing that got me into music, that got me into movies was music. So I started with, my name of my company is Star Status Movie Group, but the name of the music company was Star Status Music Group. Mm-hmm. So I started with early Vez career, like the Clarity series, worked with Peasy. So me and one of my partners that's locked up right now, we started a label back in 2012, and it was called Star Status Music Group. So I worked with Vez on some of his earlier projects. I worked with Peasy. So the music was a thing for me, but then it got oversaturated. Everybody want to rap, everybody, and it's not a bad thing. Detroit finally getting they just do, which I'm proud of everybody that's doing stuff from the city. But I was always a fan of movies, and came with the idea of actually wanting to film a movie when he was locked up. When he got out, he was so focused on music. I'm like, bro, we really need to shoot this movie that you was talking about. Yeah. We put it together, and I just fell in love, like actually being on set and seeing how everything come together is a real passion.
It's so crazy to like have a thought about something and then really bring it to life. Like, I feel like people don't really acknowledge. I guess if you're not in it, you wouldn't though, but I feel like people don't really acknowledge, like, it takes a lot to produce something. You might have it in your head that something's going to be out in a year. It might take 2. But you got to be okay with that, because if the end outcome is exactly what you want, it's worth it, right? So I know we got into it a little bit earlier about you having a new movie out. But you can tell me a little bit more about it now, because I saw you uploaded it recently. It's called Tag.
So Tagged is a movie. It's based upon people just basically stealing cars, retagging them. Not to give out too much of the movie, but basically a lot of stuff that's going on now. Like, a lot of the cars is being taken. And it's like a modern day of an old movie, New Jersey Drive. Okay. I know that's before your time, but New Jersey Drive.
It is, because you know what I thought about? I'm not even going to say what I thought about, but yeah.
You probably thought Tag, like you ate. So yeah, that's pretty much what it's about. And it got a lot of people in it. If that was a question of yours, or if you want to tell me who in it. If you want me to tell you.
Yeah, I definitely want you to, if you can. Because if you could give a little light on who was in it and how it was working with certain people. Okay. Because I saw Akbar was in it.
Akbar V in it. Amazing talent. Delicious. She's talented. You got Icewear Vezo. You got Vision. Chopper Boy Ray Ray. Smoke. Risk Taker D-Boy. It's a bunch of talented artists from Detroit in it. There's some people from Atlanta in it. It's a hell of a movie. Oh, we got Street Lord Wine in it too. It's a dope movie. You definitely gonna want to see it. Like I said, it's coming out tentatively, I would say the 23rd of November.
So just going into working with different people, because majority of the people was from Detroit. Right. But then you have like Akbar, someone who wasn't. How was it working with her?
She good to work with.
Real cool.
She real cool.
That's good.
Real easy going. When we filmed, half of the cast, even if they from here, half of the cast don't live here. So that was an issue in itself. Like some of them is in Atlanta now, some of them in Tennessee. So getting them here and making everybody that's in the scene together, schedule, mesh. Like I said, you gotta have patience. So it was a real fun experience, and I mean that because the camera crew, 14 hours is a long time.
It is. That's a long ass time. I'm gonna be tired of your ass after that.
Especially you get a call time around 7, 8 in the morning. So it'd be difficult, but it was enjoyable. Everybody had a good time. We got it done. And then, mind you, we started shooting in February. But we didn't wrap till May because it's a movie that we had to wait till the snow clear. So we had to really space it out.
And that's something else, like having weather, like you as a watcher, as a viewer, I wouldn't even think like, okay, something as simple as like the weather alternates whether you have to do a pause on this or can keep going.
Absolutely.
And
so, for instance, in February, we can only do interior takes. We can only film inside. So, if we had to film something that was outside for that same day, we had to just wait till the weather cleared up.
Why was that? Was it because, like, the script was based around a summertime or a springtime? Like,
pretty much. You know, I ain't gonna say ain't nobody stealing cars in the winter, because they definitely is. But we didn't want a snow movie. We didn't want to have a whited out movie, pretty much, where you filmed outside. You know, when it's snow here, everything covered in white.
Yeah.
So we pretty much had to wait for the weather to clear out.
Yeah, that's understandable. And like, again, that's something that me being a viewer wouldn't even think of. But it's something, you know, listening to you explain it now, it makes sense. And it's like, wow, for you to have to, because I don't know, but I could imagine that probably like cost you. It goes into time, you know, time management. Like, okay, if I want it out this time, but then I gotta wait for the snow to clear, that's gonna take a couple months. We know how Michigan weather be. It's very weird.
Yeah.
It can snow in May.
Absolutely. So that's another thing. The word I talked about, continuity. Like, you may have a scene where you look outside like it wasn't no leaves on the tree. You know. Now we filming in May. It's supposed to be the same day on set, but now you got to fully bloom. So you got to shoot it a certain way. So there's a lot that goes into it, but it worked out.
And you have a lot of people that won't catch on, but you got a lot of people that will. Yeah. You got a lot of people that be thinking they producers, executives, and be like, because that wasn't that like.
They're your hood critics. I'm not gonna call them haters. I'm not gonna call them haters.
That's the hood critics.
They your hood critics.
The hood critics. I like that name. I ain't mad at it.
They the people that's gonna be like, I could have sworn Shorty had a scarf on. You know, they them type of people, but it's all good though.
That's gonna stick out in my head from now. I'm gonna use that term, the hood critics. What I wanted to know is, have you ever thought about doing a show produced in Detroit? Like, not an exact version of Love and Hip Hop, but something similar. Cause I mean, I feel like the city is at a place now where eyes are on us so much to where it's like people want to see more in depth of people, whether it be the rappers or their girlfriends or just anybody in general, you know, because you leave it to don't wait on Mona to come and get this check, because she'll come and clean.
Hey, listen, that's a dope idea. I never thought about a reality show about our Detroit talent, you know, and not like you said, not just the artists, but it's other people. Like, for instance, I'm cool with Mia Ray. We went to school together. So her, the girl that do the Glamaholic band. So,
listen,
everybody's not into letting you in their personal space. So that's the thing. You gotta deal with people that may want you into, and even though it's kind of scripted, like Love and Hip Hop, it's kind of scripted. Certain people not about to really have them cameras, and you know it's not gonna be entertaining.
But you know what? I feel like reality is what you make it. You know, because if I was on a reality show, I'm not about to let you make me look like no fucking fool. You know, so it's like you kind of got to make it what you want it to be, and let people know, you know, what you're about and what you have to offer, or what your story is and your journey is, you know. But I do think that would be a good idea, and dope. She would be a good person to have on there, because I done been in different airports, from DTW, motherfucking Houston, Dallas, Tennessee, different airports, and I see her bag all over. She popping for sure.
But from what I know, getting into that personal ain't going. She ain't going for it.
She might change her mind. You know, she might change her mind.
I mean, it depends.
But then even if not her, we definitely have a lot of people who have substance to themselves enough to get on camera and be able to share their journey or their story, and it be a like beacon of light or motivation for the next person, you know.
Now, some motivational purposes, I could see something like that, but I'm not a fan. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm not a fan. I don't really view Love and Hip Hop, but I know it's drama filled.
But that's why I said something similar, but not exactly, because I wouldn't like that for us.
Right.
I don't want it to be drama filled. Like, and I like Love and Hip Hop. I liked it more when they first came out in the first, you know, initial years. Now I'm really not a fan, you know. But that's why I said don't wait for Mona. Let somebody from our city curate a show. Yeah. You know, that can send a message, the right message.
I think you should get it popping. You came up with that. I think you should get it popping.
Listen.
You know, get and make it a show about. I ain't gonna say don't exclude guys, but you can do women. Do the women that's doing something.
You're right.
Get it popping. And
I'm always down for a check.
Because you got you doing this. You got your own podcast. You got several women. You got Dream Rich with the clothing line.
For sure, and she's been doing her thing for a long time.
It's a lot of women here that's doing
their thing
that may
for
be
real.
up for it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
I think
but
you should get
a lie. You gonna have to help me. If I do it, you gonna have to help me. That's a lie. Why you just put that on me? I was trying to put it on you.
I think it'll work.
I was trying to put it on you. How you gonna put it on me?
You got the home team, Chanel Dominique. She do a lot. She one of the best female managers in the game.
I'm not hip to her.
You know
I'm not hip.
That's my sis. I want to get to the point I'm doing bringing out at least 2-3 movies a year.
A year.
Because the movie bag it's a different bag.
I'm proud of you.
I appreciate it. And maybe some of the stuff we talked about off camera, I might do a movie about that.
For sure.
It might be about Shorty. You know what I'm saying?
Because no, seriously, because like those personal situations sometimes, a lot of times, make for the best scripts. Because it's like, it's so relatable. You got somebody from the East Coast, the West Coast, Midwest, down South who done dealt with the same shit.
Absolutely.
You know, so they can relate to it. They gonna gravitate to it. They gonna watch it and be all in. Like, absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. This was so and so. I done seen this. I done witnessed this. I done been through it. So it's for sure. That's for sure something to look forward to. I'm excited. I'm excited for seeing Tag. You say it come out the weekend of Thanksgiving?
Yep. So not the weekend, the day before, which is the 23rd. I think we're gonna do the movie premiere at Imagine and Royal Oak.
So, anyways, now that we done wrapped up talking about the movies and all of that, it's time to get into the fun part of the podcast.
The fun part.
I call it the fun part because it puts my guests on the hot seat. Don't think too hard. Just answer genuinely. What's been pissing you off lately, or what's the pet peeves? Because I kind of feel like they kind of go hand in hand.
People that just up and FaceTime. Like, just don't.
The unannounced FaceTime. Because what are you doing? I don't fuck with you like that.
Just don't. Certain people, like, certain people you can FaceTime all day long. Right. We land like that. But if that was just FaceTime.
The unexpected.
That's something. Because in this day and age, like, I'm a texter. I prefer texting. Because unless I have to talk to you, if I don't got to talk to you, don't just up and just FaceTime if we not on that level. You know?
Yeah. It's so funny that you say that because that's me too. Listen, even calling my phone, I'm bad. Like, I've always had this. If you're not saved in my phone, I'm probably not gonna answer. Yeah. Like, I gotta have that feeling where like you know how sometimes you get that feeling like this might be something important. Right. Yeah, so you answer, but 9 times out of 10, if you're not saved in my phone, I'm not answering my phone.
Especially at FaceTime.
How do you feel about anal?
That's a joke, right?
No, it's not a joke. Hey. How do you feel about it? I told you, take these questions with a grain of salt.
Listen, if she into that, I ain't against it.
But are you into that?
I mean, that ain't nothing I'm just shooting for. I prefer, if it's from the back, I put the thumb in there a couple times, and
Not the thumb.
Hey, I just see where she at with it. But hey, if that's her, that's not my preference.
That's not your preference.
That's not my preference.
I get it.
Yeah, I'm not just shooting for it. But if she into it, and I can say I experienced all 3 hoes, then I'm all for that.
Hold on. What's the third hole? Because I'm only thinking of 2 right now.
Your mouth. What do you mean? That's the 3. We call that bowling ball action. That's the bowling ball.
You know what? I'm not about to play with you.
Hey.
I'm not about to play with you.
Hey.
Good answer though. You don't crack under pressure. You did that real smooth. I like that. Tell me something that you like done to you or that you like to do sexually. First, start off with something that you like to be done to you that really like gets you there.
I like getting hair while I'm cleaning my ears.
Goodbye.
No, I'm talking shit.
Okay,
no. I didn't have to fuck with you.
I was about to say, that's the weirdest shit I done heard.
I had to fuck with you. But, of course I love head. If it's done right. Uh-huh. But I reciprocate it because I'm a giver, too. So
you like giving?
But it got to be, you got to have Fiji. It got to be water. It can't be, a lot of times vaginas got some type of smell, some of them, but some of them got that Fiji.
But you know what's so crazy? You know what's so crazy? I be hearing from guys that they like pussy with a little
smell,
like twang. Yeah.
Oh, they weird.
They weird?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Because I mean, don't get me wrong, but I don't like 69.
I I ain't mad at it. Oh, you said you don't like 69?
Nah,
I know, right? Because ain't it
this
like
is too much? It's like I'm trying to do my, take
like,
away from the
I don't want you to suffocate me while we doing it.
Let's just do it.
I agree.
I want you to be focused.
I agree. Right. I agree. Because it's like if I'm like really turned up, enjoying my nut, like
you're gonna be lazy.
Okay.
Bingo.
It's like one of us gonna lack.
Bingo.
One of us gonna lack. Well, that wraps up the show. I am so happy and grateful that you came on here.
Me too.
And talk to us and shed light on your movies. I'm definitely looking forward to coming to the movie night. Showcasing the tag movie that is coming out November 23rd. Make sure y'all tagged in. Y'all tuned in. I'm sorry, I'm a little buzzed. Make sure y'all tuned in. And definitely, y'all got to tune in to Price of Love. It was definitely a good movie. And it's not predictable. That's what I like. The fact that it wasn't predictable. Right. I really liked it. So, to end off my podcast, I always like to end on a positive note. Mm-hmm. So, my positive quote today is, have patience with all things, but most of all with yourself, because to lose patience is to lose the battle. Catch you on the next episode.
Lip therapy. I didn't know what it was going to be about, but I see at the end. Lip therapy. But no, I'm glad you had me. I'm glad I was able to come talk about the movie. Not really about the sex.
You had a fun time.
It was a good time. It was a good time.
And it wasn't too long.
You gave me a drink. You got my favorite drink here, so it's all love. Okay. It's all love. Make sure y'all tune in.